Welcome, family and friends, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, and of course, doctoral candidates. Welcome to the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine's 44th Commencement Ceremony. We are pleased that you are able to join us virtually this morning to celebrate the culmination of the class of 2017's journey through medical school. Before we start today's proceedings, SCNM would like to recognize today's graduation sponsor, Fullscript. This is the 10th year that Fullscript has sponsored graduation and various other programs at our college. Not only have they been a reliable source of products and education for our healthcare practitioners and their patients, but their employees are all just as passionate and committed to naturopathic medicine as our future graduates today. Once again, we thank Fullscript for their continued generosity. Additionally, a few housekeeping items to help make your ceremony viewing even more enjoyable. Please only use the question and answer button to ask for assistance so that everyone can be addressed quickly. Please be aware of the technical cues on the bottom of your screen that will assist in critical transitions. Please feel free to celebrate your loved one's achievements when their name is called. We may not hear you, but we know you were there. You may also post pictures of today's celebration on social media using hashtag SCNM Spring 2021. Finally, while today's celebration format may be different, please thoroughly enjoy the moment and your achievements. It is your day to shine, no matter where you are today. To start our ceremony, please rise as you are able for the singing of our national anthem by current ND student, Erica Ware.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh.
As the Dean of Students, it's my honor to guide these candidates through their very last step to becoming our newest graduates of SCNM. I've been with this class since their first days back in new student orientation. I remember an eager group of inquisitive, ambitious, and driven individuals determined to take on the world. They were young visionaries with the desire to make a significant impact on naturopathic medicine. And as their Dean of Students, I want to make sure that they could achieve those goals. So today, what I see here are some really tired people. But all kidding aside, what I have experienced these past 4 years and truly see here today are highly competent leaders and passionate professionals, determined to help make people's lives better. It has been an honor to be your dean, and we all look forward to what you will achieve in the future. So without further delay, let us continue the celebration of your achievements with the presentation of student awards. Here to present today's award recipients is the Dean of the School of Naturopathic Medicine, Dr. Jessica Mitchell. At SCNM, Dr. Mitchell has served in a variety of roles, including Residency Director and Associate Dean of Clinical Education. She has collaborated with researchers from ASU on the biomedical treatment of autism, and is a founding member of the Pediatric Association of Naturopathic Physicians and the American Board of Naturopathic Physicians. She is actively involved in community outreach through the Junior League of Phoenix. Please welcome Dr. Jessica Mitchell.
Thank you, Dean Donnelly. Good morning, graduates, family, and friends. It is my honor to present the award. Our first award today is the Daphne Bladen Award. Each commencement, the class and faculty selects one graduate to receive the Daphne Bladen Award. This award was developed in memory of and to honor Daphne Bladen, a naturopathic medical student who began the ND program in September 1993. Sadly, Daphne passed away in December 1994, leaving behind a legacy of academic achievement. The person presented with this award exudes the same academic excellence, compassion, perseverance, sense of humor, and a positive, supportive outlook as its namesake. The recipient of this award is Avni Janak Dalal. Congratulations, Avni. Our next award is the Outstanding Leadership Award. This award is given to the graduation candidate who has demonstrated the ability to lead, a willingness to listen to others, and displays a true humanitarian character. This person provides support to the college community and commitment to advancing the naturopathic profession as a whole. Today's recipient of the Outstanding Leadership Award is Robert J. Greathouse. Congratulations, Robert. And now for the presentation of the academic awards. Beginning in 2019, SCNM initiated a new honors track program, allowing outstanding students to focus their training in an area of naturopathic medicine, such as pediatrics, nature cure, community health, or regenerative medicine. We would like to recognize the members of our graduating class who have completed the honors track, which is represented by the green cords they are wearing as part of their regalia. Those graduates are Tamara Lee Euler, Eleni Lamonia Cremitis, Juliet Mendez Alba, Stephanie Rebecca Mendoza Valentine, Curtis J. Simmons, Tyranda Smith, and Alice Veers. Congratulations on your achievement, honors track students. Now I would like to recognize the members of our graduating class who have earned honors designation by achieving a GPA of at least 3.8. Those graduates are Coral Ashton Allen, Nicole Davidson, Lina Marie Gels, and Swikar G. Patel. In addition to the honors designation, SCNM grants 2 awards of academic achievement, high and highest. The highest award goes to the student or students who have earned the highest GPA of their graduating class. The high award goes to the student with the next highest GPA. Today, we are proud to present the award for high academic achievement to Nicole Davidson. Congratulations, Nicole. The recipient of the highest academic achievement award goes to Swikar G. Patel. Congratulations, Swikar. And congratulations to all of our Academic Achievement Award recipients. Each commencement, the graduating class chooses a faculty and staff award winner. These recipients are chosen for some common attributes that the students feel these individuals represent, such as excellence in performance of their work, exceptional contribution to student professional development, encouraging students to grow and develop professionally, creating a positive, supportive, and enjoyable student experience, commitment to the college and the naturopathic profession, and performance beyond the expected. On Thursday morning, the graduating class came together to recognize those individuals who made such a difference to them. The faculty award winner for the class of 2021 was Dr. Leslie Axelrod, Professor of Naturopathic Medicine. The staff award winner was Dr. Dustin Sowards, Clinical Coordinator. Once again, congratulations to Dr. Axelrod and Dr. Sowards. The class of 2021 thanks you for all of your hard work, dedication, and professionalism. This year, I have the pleasure to announce that SCNM has a new Professor Emeritus, Dr. Stephen Messer. Dr. Messer received his doctorate in naturopathic medicine from National College of Naturopathic Medicine in 1979. In 1988, he was one of the first naturopaths in the US to receive board certification in homeopathy. Dr. Messer began teaching in 1984 with the International Foundation for Homeopathy and taught at National College of Naturopathic Medicine. In 2000, after 21 years of successful practice in Oregon, he relocated to Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine as professor and chair of the Department of Homeopathic Medicine. At SCNM, Dr. Messer developed and taught the homeopathic courses and supervised students and residents in the clinic. In addition, he directed SCNM's second-year homeopathic medicine focused residency. Dr. Messer has presented at regional and naturopathic homeopathic conferences and has published articles in many journals. He has previously directed both clinical trials and homeopathic drug provings. He has received many awards, including the Beacon Award from the Naturopathic Gathering. He considers his greatest accomplishment the number of ND graduates whom he has had the privilege to train, who are bringing about a resurgence of homeopathic practice in the naturopathic profession. To honor Dr. Messer's achievements and legacy, we invited a colleague to speak on his behalf, Dr. Eric Udell. Dr. Udell graduated from Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine. Following his residency, he completed the first two-year postdoctoral fellowship in homeopathy in the United States. Dr. Udell has traveled to Sri Lanka with the humanitarian organization Homeopaths Without Borders, where he treated survivors of the tsunami that devastated South Asia in 2005. He has also donated his time and expertise in homeopathic medicine to help the Native American community here in Arizona. Dr. Udell currently practices in Phoenix, Arizona, where he tackles challenging cases and serious or chronic illness. Helping his patients recover using natural, safe, non-toxic remedies gives Dr. Udell deep satisfaction. Dr. Udell is currently traveling, so he recorded a video for us to present today.
Greetings to everyone in attendance, the graduates, their families and friends, faculty and administrators, and the SCNM community in general. To our new graduates, congratulations and welcome to the profession. To the faculty, thank you for inviting me to speak this morning. When I received the invitation from Dr. Mitchell, I was deeply moved, yet burdened with a sense of responsibility to do right by a man whose impact on my career and life has been so profound that words do not suffice. You see, I have been given a Herculean task this morning. I have been asked to honor Dr. Stephen Messer on the eve of his retirement after 21 years of dedicated service to SCNM, and to do it in under 10 minutes. This would be a challenge for anyone. His accomplishments are so numerous, but it's especially difficult for me as brevity is not my strong suit. That said, it is fitting that I was asked to speak on this momentous occasion, as I have been on this ride with Dr. Messer almost from the very beginning. I was halfway through med school when Dr. Messer arrived at SCNM. I remember hearing murmurings among the students about this hotshot homeopath from Eugene, Oregon, who was taking over the helm of the homeopathy department. At that point, he had already been in practice for 21 years and had established a solid reputation as one of the top homeopaths in North America. That didn't mean too much to me at the time because I was not yet into homeopathy. Let's just say that my first impression had been less than stellar. Yet one thing gnawed at me. Being an avid reader of the old naturopathic literature, I was well aware that some of our most eminent naturopathic pioneers utilized homeopathy. I figured the only way out of this dilemma was to see it for myself. And if this was going to determine whether I abandoned homeopathy or delved into it more deeply, who better to test it with than the new hotshot head of the homeopathy department? My first encounter with Dr. Messer was between classes in the hallway of the old main building. I stopped him and introduced myself. He was friendly and receptive. I let him know that I was skeptical but curious and wanted to see for myself whether homeopathy really worked. I was bold enough to ask if I could attend his clinical rotation, though I hadn't been officially assigned. Here I was, a random student just starting clinical training, questioning the effectiveness of a therapy this man had dedicated his career to. He could have rejected my request or been defensive or offended, but that isn't what happened. Instead, he confidently invited me to show up on his rotation so I could see it for myself, on one condition. I had to do all the work required of the students who had been assigned to the rotation, even though I wouldn't get credit. This is Dr. Messer, confident, passionate, tenacious, highly supportive of those eager to learn, and demanding. I showed up to that first rotation thinking he was there to prove to me that homeopathy worked. But I left feeling like I had to prove to him that I had what it took to learn homeopathy. He commanded respect. He was actually kind of intimidating and questioned us often. Early on, I got nervous whenever he called on me. But one thing was clear. He was on a mission. He had not left a successful private practice for a change of scenery. He had uprooted his family for one reason: to spread the gospel of homeopathy and to teach us how to do it well. It did not take long for me to become convinced that homeopathy was potent medicine. The first time Dr. Messer entrusted me to take a patient's case, I saw a man with double pneumonia who, despite several rounds of antibiotics, had failed to improve. I was uncertain, but Dr. Messer was confident, and with reason. Within a day or two, the man was 90% better. That was it. I was hooked. It also did not take long for Dr. Messer's rotations to become among the busiest in the entire clinic and among the most popular with students. This despite the fact that his rotation was the most demanding in the medical center. It was rare to leave a shift without learning something new. He invited any interested students to attend his rotations. There were so many of us vying to get on his shift that sometimes we barely fit into the room. Making your way in or out of the room often involved stepping over piles of book bags and bodies. We were required to study each and every case, whether we had been assigned to it or not. A case could be 20 or 30 type pages. We spent long hours studying because we knew that at the next shift, we would be put on the spot to say what we thought. Each student had to speak to the entire group, listing our differential diagnoses, the tests that should be run, the referrals that needed to be made, the therapies that needed to be considered, and which homeopathic remedy we wanted to prescribe. The least experienced students spoke first, and the most experienced last, so that no one could fake it. You see, he wanted us to be good doctors, not just good homeopaths. Dr. Messer went last. We worked hard because we wanted to learn and did not want to let our patients down. And we eagerly awaited Dr. Messer's take so we could see where we stood. Not that he was always right, though often he was. Most importantly, he encouraged us to think critically and to have an opinion. And he was like a proud father when we proved him wrong. He could be hard. I remember taking a new patient case. I spent 2 hours going through what I imagined was every detail. I finished the job and walked into the room to present to him my findings. He was quiet and listened attentively. When I finished, he looked at me and very matter-of-factly said, "Now go back and get me some symptoms." I thought to myself, but I just spent 2 hours getting symptoms. Although I was dejected, I went back into the room and worked even harder. This was Dr. Messer's magic. He was tough because he saw our potential and he was 100% committed to helping us achieve it. I liked that he challenged me. I admired his rigor. I aspired to be like him. He, however, didn't want us to be as good as him. He wanted us to be better. He was also very supportive. He gave us permission to fail. In fact, he encouraged it. He once allowed me to spend 3.5 hours taking the case of a woman with an acute ear infection. I ultimately prescribed a very common remedy, chamomilla, that he could have prescribed in 15 minutes or less. And when the patient made a complete and speedy recovery, he was just as complimentary as if I had done it in under 10 minutes. More importantly, I learned that I could do it on my own. This is why he did things the way he did. He wanted us to see that we were capable. One time, a newer student confidently and thoroughly made her case to the whole group, explaining why she wanted to prescribe a particular remedy, positronium. Of all the experienced students on the shift new, or all of the experienced students on the shift new, it was not a real remedy. It had not undergone the kind of testing we demand of homeopathic medicines. We cringed, expecting him to lay into her and show her the error of her ways. But he didn't. Instead, he applauded her for her sound reasoning and her enthusiasm, then gently let her know this was a bogus remedy. He did not want to crush her passion. It must have worked. That woman is now my wife and an outstanding homeopath herself. He taught us to be genuine. He did not ask us to hide our humanity. He encouraged us to show it. We watched him cry with patience and shed tears with us. I had never before seen an attending physician cry during a clinical rotation. He taught us to be emotionally vulnerable. I learned that the ability to be vulnerable was a sign of strength, not weakness. I remember how freeing it was to realize that I connected better with patients by being genuine and sincere rather than pretending to be somehow perfect. And he fought for the homeopathy program and his students. He refused to accept willingly anything that compromised the quality of our training or the results we achieved with patients. He was a bulldog when any of these were under threat. He used to tell us that the mark of a good teacher is that their students eventually become as good or better than them. Dozens of Dr. Messer's students have become highly successful doctors. For the last 20 years, the homeopathy program at SCNM has been widely regarded as the top program in North America. Many of today's top homeopathic teachers, practitioners, and leaders in the field are graduates of SCNM and former students of his. They have been invited to speak at major conferences, to provide continuing education to other doctors, to publish in homeopathic journals, to serve on the Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of the United States, and to teach throughout the world. Several are now highly regarded teachers in their own right. The Homeopathic Academy of Naturopathic Physicians, or HANP, is the organization that designates naturopathic physicians as specialists in homeopathy. Dr. Messer was one of the HANP's founding board members. The current board consists of 9 members, 7 of whom are SCNM graduates and Dr. Messer's former students. Of the 2 board members who did not graduate from SCNM, one did his preceptorship with Dr. Messer. Another of his former students is the current chair of homeopathy at Bastyr University, and Bastyr San Diego has quickly emerged as the other top homeopathy program on the continent. Not only by his own measure, but by any measure, Dr. Messer is a great teacher. He is certainly one of the best I have ever encountered. Although today's commencement ceremony is first and foremost a well-deserved tribute to our newest group of naturopathic physicians, we have taken a few moments to celebrate the career of a truly great teacher and doctor. His retirement matters because during his 42-year career, he made a difference. Today, he leaves behind a legacy. He came to SCNM 21 years ago on a mission to breathe life back into homeopathy. If the mark of a life well lived is leaving things better than you found them, then Dr. Stephen Messer has lived well indeed. As a doctor, he has touched the lives of hundreds of patients, but as a teacher, he has touched the lives of many thousands through his students and now his students' students. By any measure, his career has been a wild success. Dr. Messer, I wish you well in whatever you choose to do in the next phase of your life. You will be missed, but you will not soon be forgotten.
Am I unmuted? Am I supposed to speak?
Yes, sir.
She said yes.
Okay, well, my goodness. Could you leave that? What an honor that is. I mean, I wish Dr. Udell were here to thank him, but I'll speak to him. This has been, like Dr. Udell said, the mission of my life, and I am just so honored at the faculty for voting me in as a professor emeritus so I can continue to contribute even though I'm going to be officially retired. And what a wonderful thing. I'm a little speechless right now, so I'm going to stop. And again, like Dr. Udell, I want to congratulate all the graduates, the ones I worked with and the ones I haven't worked with. It's a wonderful thing that you joined our profession. So thank you all very much.
Congratulations, Dr. Messer. We were all very moved by that speech. So at this time, I would like to introduce the President and CEO of SCNM, Dr. Paul Mittman. Dr. Mittman holds a Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine and a Doctor of Higher Education Management from the University of Pennsylvania. He practiced naturopathic medicine for 25 years, 12 years in private practice, and 13 years after joining SCNM. Dr. Mittman has received the American Association of Naturopathic Professions President's Award in 1990, the Arizona Naturopathic Medical Association Physician of the Year in 2000, and the AANP's Physician of the Year in 2007. He is a true believer in the healing power of nature. Distinguished guests and candidates, Dr. Paul Mittman.
Good morning and congratulations to the SCNM School of Naturopathic Medicine, class of 2001. Welcome to commencement to each of you and to your families, your friends and loved ones. And we are so grateful to those of you who made it possible for these outstanding soon-to-be naturopathic physicians to complete 4 arduous years of education and training. And so please, our graduates, please take a moment to say thank you. And if you have family nearby, give them a hug. Let's also begin with a moment of mindful reflection to honor the hard work, resilience, and dedication, yours and the entire SCNM community, including our faculty, staff, and all of our students, that made it possible to arrive at this important day. And I'd also like us to acknowledge the millions of people who fell ill and the millions who died during this unimaginable time. And so let's take half a minute, please. I often wondered what it would be like if my birthday fell on a national holiday. Some in my family came close, an uncle born on July 3rd, or two children with late December birthdays, which had, of course, birthday party and holiday gift implications. But imagine a day of personal celebration and meaning that is also celebrated with millions of other people. Today is one of those days. As if today was not auspicious enough, your graduation, it also takes place on Juneteenth, a national holiday commemorating the emancipation of Black Americans after 246 years of enslavement in America. Signed into law just 2 days ago, this is not just a national holiday. Your graduation falls on the very first national celebration of Juneteenth. I know you asked our keynote speaker not to dwell on the COVID-19 pandemic. It is, however, a defining experience for the entire human race. In my 64 years, I lived through 9/11, the fall of the Berlin Wall, Challenger accident, Watergate, Vietnam War, assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK. And while each of those shaped mine and other people's lives, I never lived through anything of this magnitude and this scale. And so the pandemic and Juneteenth, you find them entwined in this, your culmination of medical school. And so what can we take from this to help guide our future, your future? To me, the pandemic, among many other things, opened our eyes to what we can accomplish. Juneteenth reminds us of what we must accomplish. This past year and a half caused all of us to do things differently, radically differently. You drew upon the strength and ability to persevere and succeed, qualities perhaps untapped to this degree before. The college, particularly our faculty, learned how to teach and care for patients remotely. As if those weren't difficult enough, those abrupt changes had to be made within a matter of days. And so the pandemic, in addition to its death and devastation, taught us that we can pursue and achieve our dreams and aspirations. And so when you face challenges in the future, please draw upon what helped get you through your medical education in the time of COVID. Juneteenth, signed into law by the President of the United States on Thursday, is a national holiday of celebration. It is also confirmation of as yet unfulfilled promises of a nation. To me, as a naturopathic physician, it also acknowledges the existence of the chronic disease of enslavement and its pernicious effect on people and on our nation. And like all chronic diseases, the path to healing begins by making and accepting the diagnosis, treating the cause, and treating the whole person. Chronic diseases rarely have quick fixes. Juneteenth shines a light, perhaps a harsh light, on the work and healing that still needs to occur. I'm actually heartened that we as a nation are officially acknowledging and accepting this diagnosis and continuing the too long journey to healing. As naturopathic physicians, you will play a critical role in the healing to come. We've already learned that COVID, though it fits the definition of an acute disease, has become chronic for some survivors. And SCNM is taking part in research to answer those long haul syndrome questions with Dr. Elizabeth Rice as a principal investigator in a multi-center study. You will no doubt encounter patients who suffer from this, or perhaps the mental, emotional, and physical sequelae of having lost loved ones or their livelihoods to this disease. That on top of the many millions of patients who are calling out for your help. You can also help create a more welcoming, respectful, and supportive world, a determinant of health that not only affects society overall, but but it impacts the health of the individuals, your patients who live therein. I'd like to leave you with a mindfulness exercise called metta, or loving kindness, that I'd like to share with you. I've been practicing it for several years, but it seems more important and relevant than ever before. It helps me keep my perspective on life and work, and I hope it will be useful to you too. It's part of what's known as mindfulness-based stress reduction, a discipline that started at the University of Massachusetts, but its roots and its principles can be found in all religions. And it goes like this. It's basically repeating, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace. And then you go to a loved one or loved ones. It can be your entire family. I'll start, may mom be well. My mom's 91. May mom be happy. May mom be at peace. And then we expand from there. And now more than ever, expanding to the entire world. May all people be well. May all people be happy. May all people be at peace. Now, why is this useful? In a practical way. And I would say that you can do this either as part of a daily routine, or I would say as a reset between patients, especially when you have difficult cases, or when you are working with a patient with a challenging, perhaps terminal health condition. One more thing. Yours is the last commencement at SCNM that will only be graduating naturopathic physicians. In December, our graduation will graduate naturopathic physicians and nutritionists. How cool is that? The college will continue to grow, adding new programs and areas of research. And so in the coming years, you're going to have many more SCNM alumni, in addition to your naturopathic classmates and colleagues, who you will call your colleagues and friends. I was speaking with an alum, rather illustrious alum, a few days ago, and when we were talking about this and the impact that it would have on her profession, on your profession, she said that she reminded me that a rising tide lifts all ships. And so this is a way for us to not just advance SCNM, but another way to advance the naturopathic profession. And I look forward to the enrichment that an increasingly professional, diverse SCNM community will bring with you among our illustrious alums. And so I am so proud to call you my colleagues, and thank you, congratulations, and God bless.
Class speaker for today's ceremony, Danny Hamilton. The selection of a class speaker for any graduating class is a tough decision. Danny was chosen because she embodies the energy, dreams, and goals of her class. She has served in various leadership roles, engaged in multiple organizations, and has been a dependable friend, a trusted mentor, and an excellent example of the spirit of this class. Given all that she represents, her class thought it fitting that she represent them today at graduation. I'm pleased to present today's class of 2021 speaker, Danny Hamilton.
Hello, everyone, and hello to the class of 2021 medical students. Oh, I mean naturopathic doctors. Whew, I'm so proud to say that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Danny Hamilton, and I'm just going to give you a little insight on what we've done in the last 4 years. And let me tell you, it's been an insane roller coaster. We've spent the last 4 years giving our all, our blood, our sweat, and our tears, literally. We go to class all year long without summer breaks. We go to school in quarters, so each year we have 4 sets of midterms, 4 sets of final exams, and sometimes up to 10 exams in 1 week. We've had 2 sets of capstone exams, a clinical entry exam, the OSCE exam, and NCLEX 1. We've had countless assignments, saw patients from morning to night, and we studied and prepped for patients on most weekends. We also did at least 40 hours of community service. Some of us attended many conferences. We went to specialized trainings, spent countless hours with Naturopaths Without Borders serving the underprivileged. We spent hours tutoring or researching. We led clubs like oncology, LGBT, entheogenic research, and applied kinesiology. Some of us had to manage the board of the Student Government Association, and some of us had to learn how to balance medical school while taking care of a family at home. The list goes on. On top of that, we stood tall in the great adversities that we faced in the last year. Through the pandemic, conflicting protests, intensive political division, and more. These challenges affected our families, our well-being, and how we move about our day-to-day routines. And I am so proud of the way our cohort and how the SCNM family has worked together to rise above these adversities. When we started school, we were advised to follow the motto, just keep swimming. But frankly, at some points, it felt like we were just treading water. It took a lot of trial and error, but most of all, compassion, hope, persistence, empathy, and teamwork led us to our end goal. Our adaptability and resilience together has only strengthened our skills for the future as naturopathic doctors. Additionally, I'd like to thank the SCNM's community for helping me through a really rough time. In July of 2020, right before OSCEs, my entire life came crashing down when my entire apartment building burnt down due to an electrical maintenance fire. I lost everything I ever owned, but I received an overwhelming support from my cohort, instructors, doctors on shifts, and the staff medical assistants. I have never felt such a beautiful sense of belonging in my life given that very trying circumstance. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. But now on to a lighter note. We're about to be doctors, y'all. The last 4 years have taught us to be expert clinicians in natural medicine. What our future holds encompasses helping thousands of patients by searching for the root cause of illness, not to just explicitly diagnose and treat. Newsflash, natural medicine is not new age, it's old age. And hopefully we will be the forefront of medicine. And I could not be more proud. I don't know about all of you, but I feel like I've truly followed my dream. And boy, do we have some tricks up our sleeves for our future patients as naturopathic doctors. Tricks that are incomparable to any other type of medicine. For those of you who don't know, we have become experts ranging from physical medicine, regenerative medicine, IV therapy, homeopathy, botanical medicine, minor surgery, and much, much more. I have never felt more passionate about anything in my entire life, and I can't wait for us to share it with the world. Not only have we gained knowledge to become great doctors, we found something much deeper. We found family in each other. We have learned to celebrate not only who or what we do, but who we are. We dove deep into our limiting beliefs and our fears. We learned to lean on each other when we needed it the most. We have learned to find happiness when our emotions felt deranged. We learned to take accountability and dig ourselves out of every hole to get to where we are today. We have reframed ourselves to be the best version of our inner experience. We will 100% be ready to show up for our future patients because naturopathic doctors truly listen. We hold compassion, remove barriers or agendas, and we break through all the obstacles to cure. Now that's what will make us great doctors. And of course, we become really strange people. We ask each other how our adrenals are doing. Have you taken your trace minerals yet today? I don't know why, but I laugh every time I hear xanthine oxidase. I think of the word inspiration as a respiratory phase, and now I say ischial tuberosity. And every time someone asks or tells me about their medical conditions, we ask, well, have you been to a naturopath? To end this, I want you all to know how incredibly proud I am of this cohort. I wouldn't have wanted to spend the last 4 years of my life with anyone else. We're here, we made it. We made it to the end of the most rewarding tunnel. The future is looking for us and what we have to offer. And if you're wary of the future, don't be. This cohort is stronger than you can believe, and we are going to go out there and forever change the lives of many people. If you've made it this far, then we've accepted that this is a special kind of calling, and we will do great things that were only once imagined in medicine. Lastly, I have a quote by Jennifer Lee. Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Cheers to us, class of 2021 naturopathic doctors.
Dear class of 2022.
Hello.
Andrea Sullivan, PhD, ND, has practiced naturopathic medicine at the Center for Natural Healing in Washington, D.C. since 1986. Dr. Sullivan earned her PhD in sociology and criminology from the University of Pennsylvania and her Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine from Bastyr University. She was the driving force behind licensure of naturopathic medicine in the District of Columbia. After serving on the district's Board of Medicine, the mayor appointed Dr. Sullivan to chair the Naturopathic Medical Board. For 35 years, Dr. Sullivan has mentored a generation of naturopathic doctors, inspired students, and her expertise in naturopathic medicine helped heal thousands of patients. Class of 2021, please welcome Dr. Andrea Sullivan.
To the graduating class of 2021, the families, trustees, President Mittman, members of the faculty, Vice Presidents Thompson, Winquist, and Podal, Dean Mitchell, Dean Qatar, and Dean Donnelly, the honor to speak to you is one of the greatest moments of my career, for which I thank you. And to soon be a recipient of an honorary degree from this college is the greatest moment of my career. I'm grateful for Dr. Udall crying because that might happen in a minute. It is Juneteenth. I hope most of you knew that already and what that represented, other than perhaps it's the last time you'll take a biochemistry final or go to anatomy lab. But it also commemorates earlier in June, 100 years ago, that an angry white mob massacred unarmed Black residents, destroyed their homes, churches, schools, hospital, and businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood district, known as the Black Wall Street. It was the wealthiest Black community in America at the time. This event that left 10,000 Black people homeless, destroyed an equivalent of almost $33 million of property, and close to 300 people dead, began when a young Black man was said to have assaulted a young white lady that was operating an elevator. He was a shoeshine boy. As he was about to exit the elevator, he tripped. He grabbed her arm to break his fall, and the clerk in the store said that he assaulted her. And then the clerk said he raped her. She did not press charges, however. Some of the Black male residents went to the jail where hundreds of white men were standing ready to lynch the boy. An altercation occurred and it sparked the massacre. Then there was Emmett Till, a 14-year-old boy who was burned, shot, lynched in 1955 in Mississippi while visiting his grandparents for the summer. He was accused of whistling at a 21-year-old white woman who was the owner of a small grocery store. The brutality of his murder made him a civil rights icon. And while the ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868 enabled African Americans to be citizens, it was in name only, because we still couldn't vote until 1964 with the 24th Amendment prohibiting literacy tests and poll taxes and things to suppress the vote, as they're attempting to do now. Women could not vote until 1920. And imagine, indigenous people were declared citizens less than 100 years ago, in 1924. The slaughters of the Cheyenne, Shoshone, Blackfeet, and Lakota people have reduced their population considerably. In North America, pre-Columbus, there were 10 to 12 million indigenous people, and by 1890, there was an estimated 300,000, their land stolen and their selves marginalized. Now there are an estimated 6.79 million indigenous people. The current hate crimes are not reported so frequently, but they nonetheless exist. And what are the recent Asian American hate crimes and all the discrimination and racism they are experiencing here in America? And then, of course, there are those who think that the Latino people are just criminals, drug dealers, or rapists. Why am I telling you these stories? What does it have to do with you? Everything or nothing. It's your choice. You've learned a lot about disease over the last several years, and I believe racism is the greatest disease in America. A destructive and violent source of sickness with far-reaching tentacles. Slavery was the greatest system of moral depravity in America. It continues to have its insidious consequences of racism and discrimination. You are about to take the Hippocratic Oath because we were told that Hippocrates is the father of medicine. Just as you may not have been aware of the massacre in Tulsa until very recently, because it was not important to those who wrote the history books. You may also not be aware that the first physician was Imhotep, an Egyptian living around 2650 BC. He was also an architect and an astrologer. The same writers decided it was not important for people, all people, to know of the contributions of this man of color. It was not important. And actually, I never had any idea of the impact of African slaves on naturopathy when this country was settled. And our contribution was significant. These types of exclusions continue to perpetuate one ethnicity being better than another, racism and discrimination. Whether you are in the lineage of the enslaver or in the lineage of the enslaved, there are attitudes that result in dis-ease. Slavery was an American problem, an American experience, not just a Black American experience. We are all victims of the dis-ease of racism. It's funny though, race is a social construct born out of a need to dehumanize another group of people in order to ensure a sense of supremacy. We are one race. By the time I got to Bastyr University, I was no stranger to the racist behavior, having been told in high school I should be a domestic worker. Having low self-esteem and a lot of shame as a result, I told my parents I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be a secretary. My father reminded me I had received a D in typing, so that probably wasn't a good career choice for me. Subsequently, I received several degrees. And at Bastyr, being the only African-American in the school, people said things to me like, I don't see your color when I see you. Not true. And I want you to see color, but I am an articulate, educated, intelligent, sensitive, conscious woman of color. And there are many of us, all colors. By the time I had been there 2 years, comments such as these and other factors made me realize I was depressed. I took a year off to explore my inner world, to find out who I was, a child of all that is, Mother, Father, God, the universe, or whatever name you want to call it. Finding out I was connected to all people through that energy. Today, melanotic and non-melanotic Americans experience the same feelings of despair, depression, anxiety, fear, self-deprecation, a sense of powerlessness resulting from an institution based on hatred that has had ongoing, generational, pernicious repercussions. Studies at the University of Pennsylvania found that all people, regardless of ethnicity, living in communities with high levels of racial prejudice were indeed more likely to die younger than people living in more tolerant communities. A University of Toronto study found that harboring racist feelings in a multicultural society causes daily stress, leading to chronic problems such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. African-American women die younger and faster than other women from cancer, along with indigenous people having higher rates of cardiovascular disease and mental health issues. You will have patients with heart disease, hypertension, cancers of all types, diabetes, leukemia, autoimmune problems like mixed connective tissue disorder, lupus, etc. And underneath those diagnoses, you will hear the stories of abuse, sexual, physical, mental, and emotional, from the alcoholic father, mother, or the absent, distant, fearful father, mother. Abuse that continues into adulthood and marriage. They will tell you of low self-esteem and self-deprecating behaviors and approaches they have toward life, or the fears of just not being good enough, and the boss who continues to support those ideas. They will tell you of how that feeling stems from being the product of a bi-ethnic marriage, and that the half-siblings who are Caucasian or African American are abusive. They will tell you of their anxiety and depression from a very early age, when their parents fought or their sibling committed suicide. And you, graduates of 2021, you will listen with compassion, humility, and caring. Without judgment, you will allow this human being to tell their story and hopefully feel honored that they have chosen you. You will love. You are a successful person already. You're graduating from naturopathic school, and that is a Herculean task, no easy matter. It will not be good enough to be a good doctor. You must be a good person. I advise you to have a spiritual base, explore your inner world, to take classes in self-development, get rid of those limiting ideals and beliefs that your classmate mentioned, and cultural sensitivity if need be. Practice what you preach. Do whatever it takes to be well in your spirit, mind, emotions, and body so that you are resilient. Remember, doctor means teacher. It does not mean God. Be humble, be grateful. Know that everything is perfect even when you don't like it. The 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet said, "My true religion is kindness." You must be involved in the cycle of giving and receiving. Maybe it's a bottle of vitamin C for someone who simply can't afford it. Give it to them. You must do simple things like return phone calls when you've already listened all day. Explain what naturopathy is again and how it is different from homeopathy, for example. When you just want to go home, you will do the right thing. You may need to do more difficult things like standing in front of a health food store, giving out flyers and cards as I did years ago when I first started. The injustice you experience may require you defending your profession. Fortunately, you will not be arrested for practicing our art and science, as Benedict Lust was 19 times. He came close to Dr. King's record of 29 times, both fighting for the rights of marginalized people. But you will defend your profession against discriminatory practices when someone says this is not real medicine. Graduates, this is the only real medicine. The rewards cannot be measured. When a patient tells you, "I haven't ever felt so good." Thomas Edison said the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will instruct his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. You will shape the future. You will be changing people's lives, making the planet a better place, creating wellness. The Dalai Lama also said, in this highly interdependent world, individuals and nations can no longer resolve issues by themselves. We need one another. We must therefore develop a sense of responsibility to protect and nurture the global family, to support its weaker members, and to preserve and tend to the environment in which we all live. This is similar to the oath you are about to take. When I was 10 years old, the maid of honor in my brother's wedding asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up. I replied, "Save the world." I hope you will join me. Congratulations and namaste. God bless us all.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. Dr. Sullivan, by the authority vested in me by the faculty and Board of Trustees of Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine and Health Sciences, and by the state of Arizona, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Science with all its rights and responsibilities. Congratulations.
So this is the crying part, and I will just say, like Dr. Messer, I just thank you. It's truly an honor and a blessing. You never know who's looking at you. You just do what you do. You just keep going. You just know that this is a mission, and you just do it. Thank you.
Okay, we do have another degree to confer today. So to our graduates, please rise. Take a deep breath and breathe in this moment. By the authority vested in me by the faculty and board of trustees of Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine and Health Sciences, and by the state of Arizona, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine with all its rights and responsibilities. Congratulations, doctors.
At this time, I will recognize our newest graduates by identifying them with their recently earned title, asking each to put on their doctoral hoods. While the hood looks like just another colorful part of the regalia, it is actually a very significant symbol of their academic achievements. The velvet trim represents the doctoral stature of their accomplishments. The colors of the hood signify the conferring organization, SCNM, and the universally accepted color for their field of study, the Kelly green of a degree in medicine. This almost cape-like addition to the regalia tells the world that they are not just transitioning from student to graduate, but have also earned the respect that goes with their new academic title. Honored guests, SCNM's newest graduates. With honors, Dr. Coral Ashton Allen. Dr. Jocelyn Constance Bouchard. Dr. Sarah A. Bolson. Dr. Evelyn Cordova. Dr. Laura Crockett. Dr. Avni Janak Dalal. With high honors, Dr. Nicole Davidson. Dr. Ushika Nefertari Deskins. Dr. Christina Marie Erndl. With honors, Dr. Tamara Lee Euler. Dr. Nicholas Victor Figueredo. Dr. Jamie N. Flannery. With honors, Dr. Lina Marie Gels. Dr. Robert J. Greathouse. Dr. Danny Hamilton. Dr. Mary M. Hyras. Dr. Adazi Iroka. Dr. Eleni Lemonia Chromitis. Dr. Maria Theodora Lambs. Dr. Alan Gabriel Maxwell. Dr. Juliet Mendez Alba. Dr. Stephanie Rebecca Mendoza Ballantyne. Dr. Gabriella Oriana Miro Rose. Dr. Cecilia Morgado Slishan. Dr. Hassan Sam Mostofo. Dr. Natalie Lynn Napier. Dr. Lorena Paterkatsi. With highest honors, Dr. Swikar G. Patel. Dr. Jake Quesada. Dr. Amber Lee Reed. Dr. Valerie Alexandria Rodriguez. Dr. Julene Savaya. Dr. Christina Ray Shefrek. Dr. Curtis J. Simmons. Dr. Tyronda Smith. Dr. Elena Sokorokov. Dr. J. Vasquez. Dr. Alice Veers. Dr. Sally Willie. Dr. Elliot Ziglis. Doctors, I now invite you all to accept the invitation to turn on your computer audio, put on your headphones, and to open your diploma covers. If you do not see your favorite doctor in the gallery view, please advance to the second page. Please welcome back Dr. Mittman as he leads you, SCNM's newest doctors, in the naturopathic oath.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't see where I am.
Can you see me? Oh yeah, I'm seeing.
I don't know if I can stand. I can try.
Hello, mother.
I'm not on video. Hello, Valentine. For you.
Déjame leer lo que te mandé. El texto, ábrelo.
There's like a million people talking right now.
Que yo te mandé ahora.
Okay.
Look over here.
Well, congratulations, everybody. You guys all
Everybody's
set?
talking right now. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Ideally, with headphones on, we should be able to just hear all of our doctors. However, if you guys could ask your family and friends,
She's got her headphones on. They don't want noise.
quiet, and that way we'll be able to hear you guys. And then at the end, we'll invite everybody for a big cheer. Everybody with you guys. For graduates, please unmute, stand up, and raise your right hand.
I have to
Repeat
stand
after
on
me.
I don't know.
Where's
You can, I think you can turn.
Can you see me? Okay, we're gonna start doing this.
Oh, I need the right hand. Let's go.
Eventually.
I, Paul Mittman, dedicate
Was I supposed to move here? I, Danny Hamilton,
dedicate myself to the service of humanity
As a practitioner.
Naturopathic medicine.
In science of naturopathic medicine.
Of the art and science of naturopathic medicine.
The art and science of naturopathic
I will honor my teachers and also do all of my teachers and all knowledge and dedicate myself
develop this knowledge and dedicate myself.
For example, I will
endeavor to
dedicate
Endeavor to continually improve my abilities as a
endeavor to continually of the advanced healing arts.
I will impart knowledge of the advanced
Healing arts was knowledge and encourage others to strengthen their health.
Precept, lecture, and example.
I will encourage others to strengthen
Their health,
risks
for disease, and preserve the health of their friends, themselves,
and future generations.
to my best ability and judgment.
According to my best ability and judgment, use methods of treatment. No non nocere, all do no harm. Nature, in cooperation with the healing power of nature, like causa, the fundamental cause
my life and the totem address my totem with
individualized treatment.
Healthy living and preventative
healthy living and
engineering my life and prevention
my life
and life.
Integrity and
Protect my life and practice.
Will abstain from voluntary acts of injustice and corruption. Whatever I am privileged to witness, whether publicly or privately, should not be divulged. My whole heart approves the gathering of naturopathic medicine.
The
doctor of naturopathic
true to this oath.
Gathering of witnesses as a doctor of naturopathic medicine.
Take a cheer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we have the oath. congratulations to the School of Naturopathic Medicine's class of 2021. Let's give a big welcome to the newest group of naturopathic physicians who will be serving humanity.
It is online. Woo!
Thank you.
Ya se me había apagado el teléfono. Se me apagó. Ya está otra vez. ¿Ya terminaron?
Sí.
I mean, I'll stay on. I'll dance.
Well, never let it be said that this class doesn't like to do things their own unique way. So congratulations. This concludes our commencement exercise for the class of 2021. Thank you everyone for joining us today and celebrating their achievements. We look forward to their future in naturopathic medicine and their many achievements. We hope you had a wonderful time celebrating this amazing milestone with us. Thank you and have a wonderful day.